Vietnam freezes 86 million bank accounts, and the rumours are it's due to non-compliance. So the government of Vietnam have freezed 86 million bank accounts. And apparently it's because they're not complying. The people are not complying with their new digital banking system. They want to scan their biometrics. They want their iris scan, their face scan, their fingerprints. And because the people of Vietnam are not complying, they've freezed their bank accounts. This is what's going to come to the West. Don't think that this can't come to the UK or America. It can, it will, it is. It's going to happen. So they're going to use your banking system as a means of control. They're going to blackmail you with your livelihoods. So what they're going to do is, right, just like we've seen in the UK, when they've just recently announced mandatory digital ID. Now they came out and said, Keir Starmer, if you go and watch not my last video, but the one before that, Keir Starmer said, if you don't have a digital ID, you will not be able to work a job in the UK.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
So what they do is they blackmail us, and they will use means of powers. They will strip away our livelihoods by threatening our bank accounts, threatening our jobs, threatening everything, our homes. So you can see where this is going, okay? And they've used this tactic in Vietnam, and it is going to come to the West. If you don't comply, they will literally freeze you out of your bank account. They will lock you out of your bank account. And then if you've not got a bank account, you can't buy or sell. You know, same as in the UK, if you don't have a digital ID, you can't work. If you can't work, you've got no money, which means you can't buy. You can see a foreshadowing of the mark of the beast in the Bible. You can see it coming and how they're going to usher it in and enforce it on the world through pressure. It's going to be through financial, economic pressure. Okay. I've got a couple of videos for you to watch, and then we're going to read an article about it. It's absolutely shocking. And what's going on in China? I saw a video last night of a girl having to get baby wipes, removing her makeup off her face, just so she could scan her face on her phone. You've got women having to remove their makeup off their face for facial recognition in China.
我擦干净了，擦的跟你这身份证上一样，人脸识别过不去了。多少钱？画他妈这样，找麻烦。你出个门化他妈大浓妆。
Otherwise, you can't enter certain places. They've got checkpoints with gates, barriers. They've got checkpoints with barriers, okay, in China. They've got some in the UK now in some of the food stores.
So look at this. You're in London, you're on a business trip. You're staying in Greenwich and you want to buy some food. So you go into the local Aldi's, like this one, and you think, I'm going to go in here and buy some food so that I can feed myself. And then you approach the barrier and look, you can't even get in the shop without having a QR code to scan here or to scan here, and then you can go in and buy things. Now this looks to me like the beginning stages of the digital prison that we keep talking about. What do you think?
They've got these metal shutters and you can't get in unless you scan to get in. So you're not even going to be able to enter these places if you don't have a digital ID or you don't have eventually the mark of the beast. And the digital ID is going to be a crucial part of it. They're going to hook your digital ID. So your digital ID is going to be the main base of it. If you think of it of like a spider diagram. So if you have a spider diagram and you've got loads of legs coming off it, the digital ID is the body and then everything else is the legs. So you're going to have your digital ID as the main base and then everything's going to be built around that and connected. So your banking system will be connected to your digital ID. Your health services and health records will be connected to your digital ID. Absolutely everything in this world will be connected to your digital ID. So the final step will be, once they've got your digital ID, your digital banking, your central bank digital currencies, your money, once everything's digital, then they will enforce the mark of the beast with all that on, which I believe could be a chip in the hand or the head. That's the direction we're going in. Scary times. We shouldn't be fearful, those of us who believe in Jesus Christ. We should be ready. Warn the public, because the non-believers out there don't have a clue. So if we show them what's going on with the system, they might go, oh yeah, didn't you say that was written in the Bible? Where's that? Then they read that and then they realise, oh yeah, that is what's happening. You know? And then they wake up to what's going on, the truth. Then they end up believing the gospel and then they get saved. That's what happened to me in 2019 when the pandemic, scamdemic hit. It woke me up and I found the gospel of Jesus. This video is about what's going on in Vietnam. It's crazy. 86 million bank accounts frozen because of non-compliance, because they won't give over their biometric data. This is insane.
Yo, did you just hear what happened in Vietnam? The government just deactivated 86 million bank accounts overnight. Why? Because the people did not submit their biometric data for a digital ID. If you didn't scan your face or give up your fingerprints, your money was immediately frozen and soon to be confiscated. Of course, they say it's about fraud prevention, but this is obviously about control. They want you tagged, scanned, and monitored. And if you don't comply, they cut you off from your money. And don't think that this is too extreme to happen over in the West, because it's already started. The United Kingdom is rolling out digital ID under the guise of immigration reform. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is about to announce that he wants every citizen to have one, for jobs, housing, and even healthcare. They say it's for convenience, but let's be honest, this is going to be your key to participate in society. Because soon, without a digital ID, you simply won't exist in the system. There's currently a petition against it, but the last petition against the Online Safety Act drew hundreds of thousands of signatures and was completely ignored.
Vietnam just froze 86 million bank accounts. Imagine waking up and finding out your money is locked. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you refused to hand over your face scan or fingerprint. That's what's happening right now. Here's how the new rules work. The first one is, if you open a new bank account, you now need to submit biometric data, a face scan or fingerprint. The next rule is, any online transfer above 10 million VND, about $379 US, requires biometric authentication. If your daily online transfers add up to more than 20 million VND, roughly $758 US, you also need a biometric check. And if your account is inactive or hasn't been updated with biometrics, the bank can freeze it until you comply. This is why millions of ordinary people suddenly lost access to their own accounts overnight. The government claims this is about stopping fraud, deep fakes, and scams. But what it really shows is how fragile your financial freedom becomes once it's tied to biometric ID. One rule change and you're locked out. I've been warning about this for a while now. The Agenda 2030 goals pushed by the World Economic Forum aren't just about sustainability. They involve digital IDs, biometric verification, trackable digital currency, and eventually total control over what you can buy, sell, or access. Don't think this can't happen in North America. Canada has already partnered with the WEF to test digital ID for travel. The US is rolling out biometrics at airports, borders, and now inside the banking system. It always starts with words like security or convenience, but once people get used to it, it becomes mandatory. Vietnam is a warning shot. If it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. Once your access to money depends on your face, your fingerprint, and your obedience, your freedom is gone.
So let's read the article. There's multiple articles. Vietnam freezes 86 million bank accounts. This was published on the 23rd of September 2025. The article reads, the State Bank of Vietnam has frozen around 86 million retail bank accounts due to alleged non-compliance. This includes submitting biometric data which the government proclaimed mandatory in the circular issued which came into effect on July the 1st last year. The decision requires online banking transactions exceeding 10 million, about £280 or 20 million VND in total for 24-hour period to use facial recognition. As with so much of the tech that is being rolled out across the world at the moment, the Vietnamese government claims the use of biometric data in tandem with a government-issued digital ID will negate the number of fraud cases and minimise financial loss. So, they will tell you that they will give you it as convenience. It's convenience, it's better for you, it's safer for you. It's a lie. They're liars. So they have literally frozen 86 million bank accounts because of non-compliance to give over their biometric data or use facial recognition. This is the mark of the beast system we were warned about by Jesus in Revelation 13, 16, 17. Okay, now back then they had the visions, like John saw it and he writ it down, what he saw. He had it from God. God shown John. John saw it. He writ down and he writ the book of Revelation. Now we see it. We understand what they knew. What they knew in the Bible we're seeing today. They were foreseeing the technology. Okay, back then there was no technology, but they seen a way that no one could buy or sell unless they had a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. They've foreseen it. Thousands of years ago, they saw this very moment that we're living in now. This is the beast system. And because 86 million people did not comply to scan their face or their hand or their eye, they got locked out of their bank accounts. This is coming to the UK and America. The UK has just announced mandatory digital ID. It's coming, guys. The beast system's coming. We need to prepare to resist. So as you can see, right, it's happening. The beast system's coming. I shown you the video earlier of the shutters in the food store in the UK in London. You can't even enter without scanning your hand or your face because they've got shutters up. You're not even going to be able to get near the food without scanning. They've got shutters. You're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark inside the hand or inside the forehead. The final step of the mark of the beast is implantable technology in the human body. They're going to implant a chip in your hand or your head. That's the mark of the beast that Jesus warned us about. Whoever takes that mark will not be forgiven. They will drink the wine of the wrath of God, poured out without mixture, fire and brimstone, in the presence of the Lamb and the holy angels. If you take that mark, you'll go into hell. You're going to burn in the lake of fire in front of Jesus and the angels. We must resist. Now, draw the line in the sand and wake up. Resist now. The digital ID is coming by the year 2029 in the UK. Will I be taking digital ID? No, I will not. Which means I will not be able to participate in society. So be it. If I have to go to prison, I will go to prison. If I have to sleep in the mud in a wood somewhere until I die, then I will. Enough is enough. No more. Now the final step is this. Okay, I'm going to show you something now. In Sweden, they're all being chipped in the hands. They're buying and selling with their hands. Alright? The final step is surveillance under the skin. It's the right hand and the forehead microchips, which is going to be the mark of the beast. The chips you're putting in your dogs and cats, your animals, are the chips they're going to put in you. That's the mark of the beast. A beast is a four-legged animal, so what you're putting in your animals, they're going to put inside of you. It's as simple as that. Your banking system's going to be hooked up to it. Check this out. Sweden has inserted thousands of microchips into people's hands to replace ID cards, credit cards, wallets, and keys. The digital ID, all of the stuff they're setting up now is going to be put on a chip in the hand and the head, which is the mark of the beast. We are warned about the mark of the beast. There are strong warnings in Revelation. The mark of the beast system's already been implemented around the entire world. America, UK, Vietnam, China, everywhere. Sweden. The mark of the beast we are warned about strongly in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, 16, 17. Here it is. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, the son of perdition, and his number is 666. 666. There's going to be a mark inside the hand and inside the forehead. He says in the King James Version, the most accurate translation from Greek, okay? In the hand, in the head, which means we know what the mark is. It's implanted in the body, in the hand and the head. It's an implant. It's going to be a chip of some kind. If it was a barcode, it would be on the hand or on the head. We're told specifically in the right hand and in the forehead. The New Bible translators, the ones that have translated the new Bibles, are trying to deceive the world by telling them it's on the hand and on the head. It's not. It's a key point here. Jesus said, John said, it's in the right hand and in the forehead, which means it's an implant. It's chips. Now he sends strong warning in Revelation 14. Let's check it out. Revelation 14, 9, 10, 11. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image. And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So whoever receives the mark inside the right hand or inside the forehead, or worships the beast or his image, will drink the wine of the wrath of God. You'll be cast into the lake of fire at the second coming of Jesus. Now you might be wondering why no one's listening to you and you're trying to wake them up. It's because God sent them strong delusion. There's a strong delusion over their eyes through technology, and it's only going to get worse as we advance. They'll be wearing it on goggles soon, on glasses. They're wearing it on their wrists. They will be wearing it, and then it will be implanted inside them. God has sent them strong delusion, and they're going to believe a lie. And it's going to be through technology that they're going to end up condemned. The strong delusion is over their eyes. It's their screens. It's their TVs. It's their phones. It's going to be the smart glasses. It's all of that. The technology is going to be the strong delusion. And they're going to go all the way and end up being chipped in the body. Let's read 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians 2:7-15 reads, For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. But we are bound to give thanks always to God for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because God hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and the belief of the truth, whereunto he called you by our gospel, to the obtaining of the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught, whether by word or our epistle. So because we believe the truth and we believe Jesus and the gospel, we are saved, and we're not going to be under strong delusion. We're not. In fact, we're making videos exposing it, because we've been given the knowledge from the Lord. But the people that don't believe in Jesus or the gospel have strong delusion over them through technology. They're going to be enslaved by the government, and they're going to take the mark of the beast, and they're going to end up going to hell. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today. As you can clearly see, we are getting closer and closer. This was another video of more stuff happening to do with the beast system. So they froze millions of people's bank accounts in Vietnam because they refused to comply with face scanning, biometrics, scanning the hand, scanning the face, scanning the eye. Because they refused to comply with that, they froze their bank accounts. That's coming to the West. We can already see it coming in the UK. We can see it in America. And as I shown you earlier, you can't even enter some of the supermarkets, the food shops, because they've got the barriers and they've got a face scan screen there for your face, or they've got the hand, the scan. At the minute it's QR code for the phones, but that's going to go to being, it's going to be the hand, it's going to be the forehead. That's where you got a screen, and that's where you got that chip, the hand thing down there. So you ain't going to be able to enter unless you have the mark in the right hand and forehead. We're there, guys. So the gospel of your salvation is written in 1 Corinthians 15:3-4. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the scriptures. Believe in that gospel of Christ's death, burial and resurrection, and you shall be saved. God bless. Look at this. This is absolutely insane. China uses facial recognition to fine you for jaywalking and debits your bank account straight away. And your face will display on a giant screen for everyone to see to shame you. Authorities will downgrade your social credit score rating too. This is the dystopian future that's coming to the West. Resist while you still can.